Okay, okay. Thank you so much for watching that 3 times in a row. I did not mean to do that. Welcome to Those Still Moving About. Um, this is just a Friday stream. The There was some stuff that I wanted to say, and I thought I'll just do it. I wrote, notes on this a few days ago when I was talking to my brother. We were talking about work and how crazy it gets sometimes. Both of us are business owners right now, but sometimes it does not feel like it. We own something. It just feels like we are still, you know, we're still, something in the system, and we're just trying to figure things out. But quit your job now. I think this is the best title I could come up with on a Friday afternoon at 3 o'clock. You're probably gonna get off work at 5, and I know at least 3 people who will be watching this, if not now, then some other time. And the fact of the matter is that it is something that we really, really, really feel like doing. We feel like quitting our jobs around 3 o'clock in the afternoon on Fridays because it's the end of the week, and that's basically it. Um, Interestingly, I forgot to record shit. Interestingly, there are some people who actually also have to work on Saturdays, half days. I used to have to do that every other weekend, which totally sucked. But like that's what I was doing. I'm not saying that I have completely changed my life and you should do this now, but let's give respect to the fact that it is a decent title for a Friday afternoon for when you just want to kill your bosses and just fuck off out there. Um, I'll make it quick. It's not gonna be very long. Um, Sorry for not being here for so long. I realized that it's been a few months since the cigar man of Pakistan was here, Mr. Shams, and that was a very, very interesting um, interview. I really liked it. If not, I'll link it below or something in the description, and maybe you guys can watch it. So let's get on it. I have some points, and we just got talk about some stuff. So we're given society standards, right? Like what is the society standard? Is basically you go to school, go to high school. So first lower Montessori, that's what I did. Lower, middle, high school, college. Every time, like do this, pass this exam, pass this class. Get to the other next grade. Things are gonna be easier. And for me personally, they never were, because I was not good in my studies until I went all the way to college, Rod. But like that's what I was told, that okay, pass grade 6, pass grade 7, pass grade 8, all the way until like I'm supposed to feel like okay, things are decent, but they never were. O levels sucked. College, when I got there, I was like, okay, finally, I don't have to prove anything to myself or to other people. And when I actually had that that mindset that I don't need to prove anything to myself or to others, the stress and the pressure was off, and I actually began to excel in my studies. That has a lot to do with society standards as well, because I come from a society which basically says like you study, you get a job, you get married, you have kids, and then you die. Basically that's the level of success. And for me, I will say honestly, if I am being honest, I really hate that, but it's not for me. It's for other people, and if they're happy with it, I can't really do anything. I can just hope that everybody finds something in their lives to do to excel more than just the bare minimum, and that is the bare minimum in my opinion. So when society puts this barrier around you that you're supposed to do all of this stuff, and that is that, you're basically what do they call them? Blinkers? No, not blinkers. Some things that horses wear. Blinders. Yeah, there you go. and you're wearing these blinders and you basically just die doing all of that. I personally feel that there is more to life than that. A lot of people feel that way as well. um let's go towards Maslow's and everything. Like, what do you need to survive? I'm pretty sure I'm gonna miss something, but there, you need health, you need food, you need a roof over your head, over your head, you need friends, family, love from others, and from yourself. And that is like, yeah, and money, obviously, because unfortunately we live in a world where money talks. There's literally, you can do nothing without money when it comes to travel, eating, doing every single thing. Even if you are going out with a loved one, whether you pay or not for the other person, you have to pay for yourself, which means expensive food, expensive drinks, taxi, train station, your own bike, your own car, fuel expenses, blah blah. So all of that, gets is there. Um, Next, I want to talk about routine and discipline. So when you quit, wait, let's back up here because I'm going away from the point. I haven't even done 2 points off from my notes. Why did I say quit your job now? That's a suggestion. Don't do it right now, or at least until you finish the entire video. But the reason I say quit your job now is because of what we are stuck into when we have a job. We are stuck in a system that has not been made by us. It's not the unless you have a boss and a job and a situation where and you're working in a place where you're given utmost respect, time, space, everything like that. It's really difficult to actually do something, be creative, be yourself, be happy, not get too tired, not to get too bogged down for no reason at all. And in a lot of jobs that, based on my experience, so I'll just talk about my experience here, that they have really exhausted me in the past. I remember there was this job that I did where I had to go, as usual, based on the entire world. I had to go from 8 to 5. I knew that I would get to work at leave for work at 7 o'clock. I would get there by 7:45, get to work. Sometimes I didn't have time to have breakfast. Lunchtime was 11, 12, 1 o'clock. And by 3 o'clock, I was just exhausted. And whether I was doing a good job or not at the end of the day didn't matter, because at the end of the day, I had to carry on working the next day. So I used to have a to-do list, and that's the to-do list is an interesting thing over here. I had a to-do list, and I used to have to carry, or uh, roll over things that I had to do on Monday to Tuesday, then Tuesday, and by the end of the week, things would have collected. And I realized eventually that I could not finish all of my work on a normal day, even. And I started taking work home. So I used to bring my laptop, my work laptop home, and I used to just keep on working. Even if Saturday I was working at the location or not, it did not matter. I just used to try to stay ahead of the game, and to be very honest, it was almost impossible to do that. You need to be a superhuman at um, uh, to some extent. You need to be highly organized to some extent, and you need to be really, really brilliant and smart in a lot of places where you work, to actually be able to do that, to do work from Monday to Friday and just stop, not not care about work over the weekend. And that is a luxury I did not have until I quit my job. Coming to do lists. Now, as some of you know, that I have my own work now, and I have a to-do list now as well. It's something I use Google Keep for. It's basically says Monday, and then everything that needs to be done gets done. But I still roll over some stuff, and that is, sometimes I blame it on myself. I have to blame it on myself. Sometimes I have to blame it on other people. For example, if I'm talking to a freelancer who's supposed to do my work and they are busy, they haven't had time, so that kind of stuff gets rolled over very easily, and I have no control over that except to tell people, can you please hurry up, or can you do this faster? So basically, I felt that I kind of sometimes start acting like a dick to other people, whereas other people used to act like dicks to me when work was not completed on time. So at least I know that I'm not being a complete asshole to them, and that maybe that's the reason I can sleep well at night, knowing that, I have not made somebody's life miserable. And that's really important to me. It might not be important to other people, but again, it is important to me. With to-do lists comes routine and discipline. So I get up at like 7:30, sometimes 6:30. When I get up at 6:30, day's terrific. I get done with work around 1 o'clock before lunch, because now I delay my lunches because I have breakfast at 9 or 8. But the thing is that a routine is really, really important for whether you have a job or you don't have a job, or you're working like me, you're working for yourself. Now, the thing is that if you don't have a routine when you're working for yourself, things get bad, from bad to worse. And that's something that's really, really important. Which is why I say that, like, these are things that we have to do when we have quit our jobs, by the way, and not only something that you can do. I mean, it is something you can do when you're actually working for other people as well. It definitely does help, but this video is about quitting your job and understanding what you can do to survive on your own. So there's that. Focus is really, really important as well. So small objectives should be created for yourself, and you should plan, long term. For example, if I want to give myself 10 months to achieve something in my business, then I need to make smaller objectives, like, okay, buy a camera, buy a computer, get clients, start learning some software, some strategies, because I do marketing, marketing strategies, things like that, to actually help you achieve a bigger goal. And the bigger goal would be having a successful or moderately successful business with enough clientele so that you can pay your bills and then some. And that's something that I have, thankfully, touch wood, I have achieved in the past 10 to 12 months, which I'm really happy about, obviously. But I'm just saying that this has been done because of all of these small objectives, that these small milestones based on timelines that I had created for myself way back when. Patience is also something that's really, really important. I used up quite a bit of my savings while I was setting up, while I moved from Phuket to Bangkok, and it was freaking scary. I have borrowed money in the past, not gonna lie, who cares? I've borrowed money in the past to get by, to pay rent. There were savings that I had that I used for that. Some investments that I had made, I pulled them out and actually paid my bills with that. All the while, though, I was not thinking that, okay, I'm using this money to do this and that is it. I was using this money to pay my bills, but during that time, I was actually learning stuff and trying to figure out how to get from point A, which is making zero money, to point B, where I can make enough money that I'm happy about how much I can afford, if I want to eat out, if I want to go out with friends, if I can pay my bills, car payments, fuel, transport, different things like that. So that's what I'm saying. If I did not have patience, I would not have achieved that, because during that time, it becomes really difficult to think positively. You start questioning your judgment, your decisions. In fact, a lot of my close friends know this, that I have whined and complained about whether it was a bad idea for me to leave my last job. And this was 6 months into the decision of leaving my job and setting something up for myself. So that uh, I, although I was questioning it side by side, I did know that I am getting somewhere. I am going somewhere, and I need to be persistent. I need to be consistent. And I need to make sure that I'm patient with whatever I'm getting, the energy, the information, the clients, the money that I'm receiving. I had to be patient because at some point it was very, very little. Right now it's not too much, but I am comfortable, and that is what's important, at least to me. I don't need to buy a Lambo. I don't need to buy a brand new car, an expensive watch. I don't need to do all of that stuff. I just want to live a comfortable life, and that is, something that I have gone towards, and I'm getting better at it. Like I said, I'm not there yet, but I'm getting better in it, how to deal with stuff, how to reduce my expenses, how to, spend better, how to talk to clients better, how to deal with clients better, how to work better, and basically that. It gets lonely. That's the fifth, sixth point. It does get lonely in the sense that when you're actually going for a job, you need to understand that you are meeting at least 100 to 200 people a day. Even if you don't look at them, even if you don't say hi, just the energy that you get with people around. Maybe it's just me. When I have people around, I have more energy. When I don't have people around, it's really difficult for me to feel upbeat and energetic. But that's something also that I have learned over the past 10 to 12 months to figure out what I can actually do to be up there in my head and my heart instead of like always feeling a bit low, because I'm extroverted to some extent, and I feed off of other people's energies, and that's something that was really difficult for me to do. Even now what happens is, and again, kind of a word of advice thing here, even now if I have long days of work, I end up not even leaving my apartment for almost 3, 4 days straight, from Monday all the way till Thursday, which is actually what happened this week. Wednesday, I went downstairs to throw the trash, and then I came back up. Yesterday, I went to throw the trash, and I came back up. Tonight, I'm going out, and the fact is, tomorrow night I'm also going out, and Saturday, Sunday is there's also a plan to go out, just to make sure that I don't end up just staying home all day. But during the um, Aslam Box, thank you for liking the video. Um, During this time, during Mondays and stuff like that, during work days when things are really busy, what I end up doing is I literally go to a close by coffee shop and buy coffee and come back. So basically just that walk. Just because I will see about 500, it is Bangkok at the end of the day. I will see like 500 people minimum from the time I go to a Taubin to get coffee or my strawberry protein shake back. Or the other thing is take your laptop, take your work, and end up at a cafe or restaurant for like 3 hours every other day just to keep that energy going. Like I said, this was the name, the actual point. It gets lonely, and it gets freaking lonely, and you have to make the effort to go out. Then you have to make the effort of trying to figure out plans. Me personally, I made a plan with some friends to go out tonight. And I was like, let's go to a rooftop restaurant, bar, or something like that. And I've been trying to find a place to actually go for the past 6 hours. So yeah, since like 8 to 9 o'clock, I still can't think about it just because I've been so like into work mode that I have not been able to do that. But I am making the effort, and that is what counts. Making the effort to do different things, making the effort to make sure that you stay sane, you don't stay lonely, you don't stay alone an entire freaking week, because if I wanted to do that, I could, right? but I know for a fact it's not good for me, so why the hell should I? And it takes a lot of energy and brain power for you to actually act on these things if you don't have a job and if you're working on your own alone, basically working from home. Um, Talking about being lonely, we can talk about working from home in terms of what happened during COVID. So it was not just me. Thank God, it was not just me. It was, well, billions of people technically all over the world had to work from home to some extent. Many people unfortunately lost their jobs. A lot of people lost their lives as well. But at the end of the day, there was time during COVID that every single person had to figure out how to actually work from home. And for the first time in the history of my life, at least, and basically my generation, was that we were not being forced to go to work because it was just not possible, right? Because of the pandemic again. What happened was during COVID, that a lot of people learned how to be alone with themselves and make money, and that's one of the reasons, a lot of people are doing that now. A lot of companies have actually stopped forcing people to come to work and just work from home if they can. But I do know that a lot of companies are trying to fight that as well and bring everything back to normal, where everybody is in the office working, even though they are more productive, or they were more productive working from home during COVID. It just does not matter. You cannot teach an old dog new tricks. I use that perfectly. But but that's literally what uh, we have to strive for as a way of life, I guess, if you actually do something. Um, Going back to the sorry, give me a second. I'm getting distracted. Just getting messages. Yes. Like, stop bothering me. There you go. Sorry about that. Again, see, trying to make plans for tonight and people are messaging. One of my best friends, I don't care. I love you, Junaid. But the fact is that you have to be able to focus on stuff while when you're actually doing that, when you're actually working for yourself. For like live streams and stuff, I do love doing them. I love doing video, making short movies and stuff. So this is not work, but again, it's all about focus. If you're doing a hobby, if you're performing the activity of a hobby right now, focus. If you are writing an email, focus. If you are answering a call, focus. If you're in a meeting, if you're doing an interview, focus. And that is the really important part of this life, where if you are going to quit your job, learn this, use it in your current job before you quit your job, because this is something that's going to help you for eons in the future. um, you'll have to deal with every single problem like employees. So this is also part of, the actual problems that you face when you are working for yourself. If you have not understood already, if I said quit your job now, I mean quit your job now and work for yourself. Just so you know. But if you do work for yourself, you have to deal with every single problem as if other people you're working with are your employees. There are days when you don't want to do anything and you feel failure and you feel like shit, but you have to keep on going. And that's really, really difficult, especially when there are people counting on you for either money or work or something or the other. And that is something to keep in mind for sure. There are days where you don't feel like doing anything, except you're not that mentally exhausted anymore. And that is a very, very important point here. If I wake up at 6 and, take a dump, do different things, get ready for work, and actually do start working. If I wake up and start working that early, I actually get done with work pretty early as well, which is not the luxury I had in the past. The good thing about that is that you have more time to relax, you have more time to play with your cat who's being cute right there. You have more time to do a lot of different things to actually be able to relax. Breathing exercises, going to the gym, literally an afternoon swim was uh, uh, uh it was a dream. But 4 or 5 years working at a job, I did not get that chance. What I used to do though is as soon as I used to get done with work, I used to grab a snack, a plate of snacks or something, and I should jump in my pool. That was an everyday occurrence for me because I was desperate to get into the pool and forget about my work. And that is something you don't really have the luxury of doing when you're actually working for somebody else. Um, yeah, that's about it. What else? Next point is you have to pretend that you're okay. You have to pretend that you're good. This is kind of connected to the last point as well. The fact that, when you're feeling like shit, when you're feeling failure, when you have to deal with problems with your freelancers or employees or part-time workers or full-time employees, at the end of the day you have to pretend like you're good, at least for them, if not for yourself. For yourself, you have to actually feel good within. But when it comes to other people, if they see you sad, depressed, tired, exhausted, feeling as if you have failed, they will actually grab onto that energy, whether that's physically working with you or virtually working with you on a call, on a video call, Zoom call, something or the other. And that's basically something that you have to learn how to do. If you don't have to pretend, at least be honest to them just so they know what's going on. But again, as a boss or as somebody who's dealing with the actual act of bringing money in, you can't possibly let other people see your soft side, and that makes you a hard ass sometimes, and that's not a good thing sometimes. But to be honest, like that, these are the challenges you eventually have to face when you're dealing with the stuff. um Last thing is, like, I've already mentioned money issues literally in the second point, but the fact is that you are going to have those issues where you literally have to say no. I have told my friends no so many times if they make a plan to go out, and I just go like, dude, I really don't have money. And I'm not the kind of guy who's just going to go out and literally not spend anything, not eat anything, not drink anything. So it's just really difficult to do. But if you do persevere, if you do stay consistent and try to figure things out objectively, like I said, the small objectives, looking at the long term, plan in mind, you will get out of it. It is okay to not go out with people for a while so you can go out with them more in the future, to be honest. And literally that's life right now for me, for a lot of my the people I know. There are good things, obviously, if you have not realized that I have been saying negatives, but also like peppering that shit with some positives. But here are the only positives, if I can state before I end this video. So I'd like to reinstate again, quit your job now for these pointers that are coming up. You are the boss of your own time. Not only are you a boss, which was really grand in the past, fuck it, it's really not anymore right now. But the fact is, you have your own time, you have your own schedule, your own routine. Every single thing you want to do, you can do yourself. The good thing about that, if screw the bad things anymore, I'm not going to say the bad things, but the good thing about that is the fact that you can do literally whatever you want. Always remember, give yourself time to eat, give yourself time to sleep, give yourself time to work in a focused consistent environment and mindset. You know, basically that. I mean, like I said, most days I'm done with work about 3 o'clock or something, but I am powering down by 2 anyways. So all of my work gets done from like 6 o'clock to 2. Um, they are, for example, yesterday I went to meet a client for something. Uh, I'll talk about it later because she's going to be in an interview as well. It's kind of a secret right now, but I'll just name drop here. Yaya's Chocolate opening up in January in Asok. Really nice chocolate. I will keep you guys updated because I am working with them and it's exciting. The owner is the sweetest person ever, and so is the husband. Her husband is amazing as well, and we're just gonna have a good time. Anyways, I did end up going to meet with them at 3 o'clock. So 3 to 5 ish, I was actually there. So it's not every day that I get done with work early, but it is a more relaxed environment for me when I can schedule things myself. Excuse me. So there's that. Uh, Being fit. So you actually do feel fit. Me personally, I was really, really exhausted when I was working for somebody else. The fact was that, I had to go to work every single day at a very specific time. And that wasn't the problem, obviously. Scheduling was not the problem. The problem was that when I got out of bed and I went to my car to drive to work, it was a 30 to 45-minute drive. They were bad drivers, they were people trying to run you off the road, honking or something or the other, something to mess with your head before you even actually start your day off work. And that is something I do not miss anymore. You can, when you're actually working for yourself, you can choose to have those issues or not have those issues. Obviously, I work from home right now, which is great. But if I actually do get an office in the future, if it's 30 minutes away, I will be traveling, right? But that's up to me to decide how I will travel, what time I will go there, if it's going to be my own office, obviously. So that's the thing. I have felt better mentally and physically because I'm not being forced to do something and weave through the bushes and try to figure out if something is going to be, if I'm going to have a good day or not is based mostly maybe 70% on me. And that is a really good point to think about when you're actually thinking about quitting your job now. Uh, Funny. Um, Choose who you want to work with. This is my last point. I'm glad that I'm keeping these live sessions short now. The last point right now for this is basically you get to choose who you want to work with slash for, but sometimes you can't do that. Sometimes you end up working with just bad people for the for the sake of not saying cuss words or blaming people. But there's two things. One is you are you choose who you want to work with. So, for example, if I want to work with a chocolate company, that's really cool, right? At least for me. So, I want to work with a chocolate company. So, that's my decision. It's going to be my decision to send the proposal, to meet the person, the owner, or whatever, and try to figure out what we can do together. If I want to work with a sports company, same exact thing. If I want to work with a school, same exact thing. If I feel that there is a business that I don't like, for whatever reason, or if there's a person who runs a business that I will have to deal with, and if I like them, if I feel that they're going to be Zosma and that company are going to be a good match, I'm head over heels, I would go for it. But if I know for a fact that that person is not a good person, the company does some kind of practices, has some practices that I don't agree with, or my, ugh, What is it? My shit. My values are not being going to be respected, they go against my values, then yeah, I don't have to work with them. However, sometimes, and this is the good and bad point of it. So the good point is you can choose who you want to work with, right? But the thing is that everybody you want to work with is not always going to end up giving you work, and that, my friend, is a problem because like you can't. How do I explain this? Why am I getting stuck on the last point? Give me a second. mm, okay, fair. So I guess the point is that you do end up having the issue of wanting to work with somebody but they say no. Like there's one particular company I'm dying to work with, right? I have had meetings with them, I have sent proposals to them, and they've given me so much time of the day, and I've given them so much time of the day to try to figure things out, but things are just getting delayed. It's been over 6 months that they're getting delayed. Hopefully, I will get that contract before the year ends. I just don't know. However, they're somebody I really want to work with. So fingers crossed if that happens, well and good. If not, then I can't do anything about it. In the past, it has happened that there are people I didn't really want to work with, but the fact was they were giving money. And for me, it is initially, specifically, it is about money too, right? I mean, it's about, growing as a business for one. Second, you want to make money so you can buy expensive equipment and software and computers, and you can pay your freelancers and people who you want to work with, sorry, your employees or part-time employees or freelancers as I call them, because I actually have to work with a lot of them. You want to do all that, so it's kind of like you are selling your soul for a little bit of time. um is going to drive you up the wall. They are going to drive you up the wall. You probably can't function or work with them properly, but if you are getting money, then just accept it for the in the beginning. And that is the saddest thing about this video, I think. But now about quitting your job now, but I don't have to do that anymore. And I'm really, really, really happy to be able to say that out loud. Um, that's about it, man. Um, Hope you guys have a good weekend. I hope you guys learned something from this. I've mentioned earlier this podcast as well. Do not quit your job now. Just try to figure out what you want to do. If there's something that you really want to do and you think you can do it better alone, you should jump at the chance, because a lot of us, what we the main issue with us is we don't jump at the chance for anything. We're not gonna jump at a chance to buy something we've been saving for ages. For example, to ask out that guy or girl that we have had the hots for a while, or just even a basic thing about going to a freaking movie, dude. It costs 300 baht or less to go to a movie in Bangkok. A lot of times, I have made the plan with a friend or just myself, and when the time came to actually go watch the movie, I was like, nah, it's too hot. I'm just not gonna go. And I literally do not do anything for that entire evening or afternoon, in my case sometimes. So yeah, go out there, try to figure things out. I'm always happy to talk about stuff, to try to educate, to try to guide. Zosma Productions is a marketing company which I own. We do video and photo production. We did a fantastic photography and videography shoot in Phuket last month. Met some really cool people for that. but we also do business consultancy. This is part of business consultancy, but it's just, this is part of business consultancy in the sense that I have some very little experience that I feel is enough for now for others to at least start something. And that is what at least this channel is about. I want to be able to help people. I want to be able to guide people to do better, to live better, to think better, to eat better. But I literally had 2 slices of pizza in the afternoon for lunch, so I can't really say anything about that. Take care of yourselves. Thank you so much for your time. Please subscribe, comment. Any questions if you have, I'm happy to talk about them. Send us an email at zostillmovingabout@gmail.com if you actually have something that you want to work with us for. And we would be happy to guide you and help you make your business boom in Bangkok. Yeah, take care. Let's watch that intro. Let's make it an outro one last time before I go. Take care. Have a good evening. Have a fantastic weekend. I love you. And there you go. Bye, guys. Take care of yourself.